I can't believe it's been a year plus of me working as a product manager. It's been a crazy year, not gonna lie. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing lessons learned. I wish someone had filmed this when I started my product management career, but I'm going to be sharing it for you today. This video is going to be useful for aspiring PMs, early career product managers, and also like early career professionals as well. So stick around. What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Toby and I share topics related to product management and tech career alongside wealth building topics such as personal finance and real estate. So please don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps my channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you aren't subscribed already. Share this video, leave comments and all of that fun stuff. I really appreciate it. So when I realized I had hit a year plus, I decided to take some time to reflect and write down lessons learned. There were a lot of lessons learned, but I'm just going to be sharing or highlighting 8 of them in today's video. Lesson 1 is that there's never enough time as a product manager. Something always comes up, so you have to be very intentional about your time. Block out focus time when you need to, so you can focus on like the product strategy, because a lot of days you'll be pulled in different directions and you realize that you're mainly focusing on execution instead of like long-term thinking. Also, when it comes to meetings, figure out what meetings you have to attend, figure out how to say no to meetings and what can be done async. As a product manager as well, ensure that the meetings you're setting up have clear goals and outcomes. I have had like a lot of meetings in the past 1 year where I had a goal in my mind and I feel like I just didn't structure the meeting in the best way possible to get to that outcome and to get everything I needed from that meeting. So lessons learned. And I've also had meetings where I realized during the meeting, at the end of the meeting, that it shouldn't have been a meeting. It could have been something done async, or there was no need for the meeting at that point. It might have been an early meeting that could have been done like further down the line. Lesson number 2 is that you should be very opinionated. This is something I struggled with in my first few months as a product manager, and even like 6 months in, I still struggled with this. And I get why I struggled, because when you join a new team, it is very difficult to form opinions and have opinions and even share your opinions. But I'll leave you 2 things that really help. Number 1 is to ask questions. So even ask the silly, dumb questions, because when you ask those questions, you can form an opinion based off people's responses. So you might ask the same question to 5 different people on the team and they give you different answers. And from those answers, you can do your own research and form an opinion based off that. It also allows you to gain context. I'll give you that ability to form opinions quickly about the products. Number 2 is to get to know your users. Try to use the products if you can. Look at support tickets, do your research. Those 2 tips will really help you to form opinions even in the early stage. You should have strong opinions, but you should be willing to flex your opinions as you get new information. Lesson number 3 is to challenge things, and I would explain this in 2 different ways. The first one is challenging things when you join a new team. So you might join a new team and they have a backlog of project ideas already, or they even have an in-flight project that they're working on. You might look at the solution and realize it actually isn't solving the problem. So be curious, ask them why they decided to go with that solution, be able to understand things, understand their reasoning behind some of those decisions they made. And if there's anything you don't really align or agree with, then be able to challenge their thinking. The second aspect of challenging things is really towards early career professionals. So as a junior product manager, you might join a new team and your manager, or even the current team you're on, your manager might give you a project to work on that might have already been fleshed out, or there's already like a direction in the project brief. Always remember to review things yourself. Your manager may not had the time to go into the weeds. They might have been expecting you to go into the weeds, but didn't really state it. And I've realized that this happens a lot. A lot of times they don't really state that they expect you to do your due diligence and go into the weeds of things. So you should also do your own investigation, understand the problem deeply. Don't just go with the direction or solution that your manager or team wanted to go with. Do your own research and figure out if that problem is even worth solving. This hasn't happened to me, but I know a few early career PMs that it has happened to, where their manager transferred a project to them and the project already had a direction and they just ran with it because they expected or they thought that the manager wanted them to just run with it. And then it's just going to be very stupid of you to like tell your manager that, oh, I wrote this solution, or we came up with this solution because that's the solution you wrote here. Lesson 4 is to share early and often. This is something I struggled with in the beginning. I wanted things to be like 70% there before sharing, and I realized that there's actually such a thing as being too late to share. Obviously the earlier you share the better, but share early and often. So right now what I do to help is that whenever I'm sharing a doc, I ensure that I set the expectation that this is still a draft. This will allow you get early inputs, gather feedback as you shape the direction of a project. Lesson number 5 is to be ready for pivots. So as a product manager, there will be so many times in your career where you have to stop a project, pivot a project, and so on. And those are still like wins. The fact that you knew at a point to actually stop the project or pivot the project is a win, even if the product didn't ship. But a lot of times people get emotionally attached to ideas or projects, which I did. I remember my first project ever that got stopped. I was emotionally attached to that idea, and it actually affected my energy level. So I was really down for a couple of days just because that project idea got stopped. There'll be a lot of cases like that, and you have to be the one to like keep the team moving when things like that happen. So imagine you being down about it. How can you like really keep your team moving? Because a lot of people can sense where your energy is at. Lesson 6 is to keep a decision log. So as an early stage product manager, you have your intuition or your product's intuition, but it isn't as strong as other people who have solid product experience or years of product experience. So sometimes making decisions can be challenging for you. One way to help with this is to keep a decision log. I know there's so many frameworks out there for decision making, but it is not a one size fits all. So ensure you document the decisions you've made, so the little ones and even the major ones, and review them. So you can, for example, if you made a decision and it was actually a terrible idea or a terrible decision, go back to review it, figure out why you made that decision, what did you take into account, how can you improve, and even for good decisions as well, figure out why you made that decision, what framework or was you're thinking towards that decision or principle, and how you can use it to leverage future decisions. This will allow you identify patterns for future decisions that you need to make. Lesson number 7 is that product managers don't need to have all the answers. I wish someone told me when I started my PM journey, because with all the things we hear online, oh, as a product manager, you're the CEO of the product, you're the one that should know everything on the team, blah, blah, blah. We hear so many things online. And I think this makes a lot of early career PMs put a lot of pressure on themselves and feel like they need to have answers to every single thing. So listen now, if you don't know the answer at the moment, it is okay. If you don't know what to do at the moment, it is okay. Just ask for help. It is okay for you as a product manager to ask for help, no matter the level you're on. A manager of mine reframed the narrative I had for a product manager in this aspect. And she said, what your job is as the product manager is to pull people together to find the right answer. Lesson 8 is really just a quote that a manager of mine said to me once that has just stuck with me, which is, no decision is a decision. Yeah, no decision is a decision. So as an early stage product manager, making your first major decision can be nerve-wracking. I still remember my first major decision. I remember what the decision was, and I remember the outcome of that decision. I remember how long it took me to make that decision. Yeah, it took me a while. So I see decisions in two ways, the one-way door and two-way door. One-way door is something that is irreversible, very important, requires a lot of alignment, a lot of reviews. Or the two-way door it is a decision that is reversible. Even with the two-way door, I still feel like there are different layers. There's some decisions that are reversible but still require a lot of inputs and a lot of alignment. And there's some that should be quick decisions. My first major decision should have been a quick one. Just like little research, little understanding or thinking in principles, and I should have been able to come up with a decision. I was able to come up with it, but I wasn't really bold about my decision because I was just like, what if this is the wrong decision? And then my manager said to me, like, no decision is a decision. Like, me not making a decision is actually a decision, and that is really bad, especially as a product manager. So always remember that when you need to make decisions. Remember principles, categorize your decision, figure out if it's a decision that needs a lot of input and time, if it's a decision that needs to be made quickly so you can unblock your team and move faster. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. It really helps my channel and it helps me to know what type of videos you like. Don't forget to leave comments, let me know your thoughts, your own lessons, what you resonate with or what you relate with, and all of that fun stuff. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this video, and all of that. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.